good evening, everyone. This is Labrita Dukes, Realtor in Fort Worth area. And welcome to my podcast, Buying and Selling with Bree. First of all, I want to say for those of you, I know it's late in the month, but I want to wish everybody a happy new year. And I hope and pray so far this year that everything is going as planned and things are going well. Well, tonight it's going to be really casual. I'm going to talk about uh, the home buying process. This is the beginning of the year. So, what I would like to do is just talk about and start talking about the home buying process. And for those of you who are um, wanting to buy a home and don't know what to do, the first thing I would say is contact a real estate professional. With the real estate professional, that professional is going to sit down with you. They're going to do a buyer's consultation. And what they're going to do, they're going to send you to a lender. When they send you to the lender will tell you what you need to do. Some of you all may be ready right now. Some of you all may be ready within the next 6 months, or some of you all may not be ready for a year. And sometimes uh, some of the clients, they just want to know where they are, and that is a good thing because some of them are still saving money. And if you're doing that, then you still contact the real estate professional and just let them know, hey, I'll be ready 6 months to a year, and I'll give you a call when I'm ready. And while you are waiting for the get everything straight, get your credit straight, and save money, you need to make sure that your debt, don't create any more new debt. Don't buy new cars, don't open up any loans, don't do any of that. What you want to do, if you are not ready, you really want to monitor your credit. You want to make sure that everything is one payment can probably drop your score down about 10 points. It really all depends on which creditor it is because some creditors are stronger than the other. So you always want to make sure you pay everything on time. If you have a lot of debt, um, just try and sit down with a financial advisor or you and your spouse, significant other. Y'all sit down together and y'all look at what debt you have, what you can pay off, and what you can save. Because now that the interest rates are higher than what they were, a lot of people are qualifying for less house than what they would have qualified 2 or 3 years ago. So some people now that would have qualified for 500,000, maybe they down in the low fours or something like that because of the interest rate. And because of the interest rate is so high, a lot of people are afraid to buy. It is still time to buy. It is still a great market to buy in. The sellers are giving more towards concessions. Builders are giving more incentives. They are um, giving towards the closing costs. Some builders are giving blinds. Some builders are giving um, um, washer and dryer. So it all depends on, you know, which build it is and, you know, uh, which seller it is. Because some sellers are giving $2,000. Some sellers may be giving more than that towards concessions. Some sellers are giving home warranties and some of them are just not. Some people are just even knocking the price down on the house. It situation. And while you are, if you are ready to go and they find out that you are ready to buy, that real estate professional is going to sit down with you and they're going to let you know what you need. First, you're going to make sure that you look at your credit to make sure that your credit is fine. If you have student loans on there, you need to make sure that your student loans are not in default. If you have more than one student loan, you try to want to combine them and get one payment. That's the one thing that you need to do. And that right there, you would need to talk to the lender and the lender will guide you on that. You also want to make sure that you have 2 years of tax returns. You always want to make sure that you have your driver's license, your social security card, your employer's address, all your 401ks, your thrift savings. The lender is going to need all of that. They're going to need your bank statements. It depends on the lender. Some of them might want to give 30 to 45 days, and some of them might want longer than that, depend on your financial situation. And also, too, if you're buying a home and someone is going to give you a gift, please remember, if that gift that that person is going to give you, sometimes the lender may ask for verification, where they get that gift. I have a question. How long is the offer letter good for? Most of the time, the offer letter can be anywhere good from 60 to 90 days, depending on the lender again. So when you find a lender, or when your realtor sends you to a lender, that's a good question to ask, because most of them are 90 days and some of them could be 60 days, again, depending on the lender. But always be sure, whatever you do, to ask the lender how long is the pre-approval letter, because sometimes when you first start looking, you may not find anything. And sometimes it's just human for buyers to get discouraged about buying a house, because either they can't find anything that they want in the neighborhood, or they keep getting beat out. We're in that market now where it's not as competitive as it was last year. But there are houses that are still getting multiple offers on the on their house. So be mindful when you go in to put your offer in. Make sure you put your best offer in, and your realtor will make sure and sit down and tell you that. Because some buyers was like, well, it's been on the market 10 days. That doesn't mean nothing, because 10 days right now, with the market the way it is, 10 days is becoming normal. So if the house is 300 and you say, oh, I want to put in 280, well, you know, it's not the market for that, because people are still paying at price. Some people are, depending on the neighborhood, depending on the area, depending on what type of house it is. Some people are still paying just a little bit over. Buyers now, like I said, are asking for closing costs. Um, so it's just the whole market is different itself. But also, when you are a buyer, I want you to have patience with your realtor, because sometimes the realtor is going to do what you ask them to do, and sometimes you need to make a want list, a need list. And also be mindful, a lot of the houses are still selling for well over $400,000. You may find some pre-owned homes. You still may find some new construction right at 350. It really all depends on the area. But for the most part, houses are still well over, $400,000. And a lot of builders now, depending on the builders, when you walk in, they have what they call packages. This package A, package B, package C. And remember, each packet, they have a standard package, and then they have level 1, level 2, level 3. So whatever package you pick, remember, it can go up and add to the price of the house. So just kind of be like, always have a second option, um, because sometimes that first option may not work out. And the best thing to do too is to help out your realtor and look for the property. Say, hey, I like this area. I went over here. Do you mind looking at this area? If you find a house that you like, just ask them, say, hey, can you look up this house and see how much it is and see if they have any offers? You can help us as well too, as to be proactive, letting us know what area you in. I mean, because sometimes not all buyers, some buyers want to live over here, my friend live over there, my friend live over here, but you have to go to an area where your pre-approval letter takes you. And now with this market, like I said, the housing market, the average price is 450. But builders are, like I said, are giving incentives. But you as the buyer, I always want to make sure that you have a second option, and to always make sure that you keep an open mind about this market, because it is changing. And also too, as a buyer, just be mindful of to do what the lender and your realtor asks you to do, because sometimes the buyer can slow things down if they don't answer the phone when the lender call. And then sometimes they, it's the seller, or or just anything. But just be mindful as the buyer, that you as the buyer, you got to make sure that you answer all the emails. You got to make sure that you answer the phone calls. And if you are working, just let your realtor know, hey, I'm working at this time, I can't answer the phone, but I can text you. So so let them know that, and that will help them as well, especially when it's time to put in offers, or it's when it's time to show a house. You always want to make sure that you communication, the best thing you can do is communicate with your realtor. And I have another question. Will the prices drop? The price of the houses are going down, but as far as the amount, I don't know, depending on the builder, depending on the seller, depending on how long the house been on the market. Um, prices are dropping, but the interest rate is still like at 6.5 or 6.2. So it really all depends, but they are dropping again. If you are looking for a new construction, always go to the community that has your amount. There's no need to have your realtor go to a $600,000 community and you only approve for 450. That is defeating the purpose, and then sometimes that make the buyer just a little discouraged. So try to stay within your price range when you're looking for a house, because there's no need to go look for something. And that, getting back to that question, just because the house is 500 and you approve for 450, that doesn't mean that the builder or the seller will accept that price. So just be mindful. Your pre-approval letter, try to stay, you're gonna have to stay in the amount that you're pre-approved for. Anything over that amount will have to get approval from the lender to make sure that you do have the verified funds to purchase that house. And also too, some buyers might need co-signers. Remember, if you need a co-signer, that co-signer still have to provide the same documents that you provided, the tax returns, the W-2s, all the financials. They still have to provide the same thing. All their debt is still going to be counted. It's not going to be any different because they're the co-signer. They still have to go through the home buying process just like you do. So I say to all buyers, be mindful when you start buying a house. Just try to be ready. I had someone to ask me the other day, how far should I start? It really all depends, but I say if you're in a lease, I say contact the realtor probably 6 months out, because it all depends on your apartment complex. Some apartment complex, some people want a 60-day notice, someone want a 90-day notice. So it really all depends on the lease that you're in. But I will say 6 months out. But if you are knowing you want to buy a house next year, start preparing now for next year. Or you want to buy a house at the end of the year or within a couple of months, you want to save more money, you want to work on your credit. Just start preparing the minute that you know that you want to buy a house. Start saving, start looking at your credit report, start paying bills down. Don't make no new debt, don't open no new loans, don't buy no new car. Spending habits, you're going to cut that, because when you go to the lender and you provide your bank statements, the lender looks at your spending habits. You could make good money. You can make a lot of money, but then they was like, oh, this, and this. And that's not a good look for a lender. When you make a lot of money, you don't have a lot of bills, but swiping that card, that's not a good look. And then sometimes the lender say, well, you make a lot of money, but you spend a lot. So let's try it within 90 days, or let's try it within 6 months. And a lot of times, once the buyer is told that, hey, I got to cut back on my spending, they will buckle down. They will buckle down. So just try to, as a buyer starting to buy a house, just make sure you manage everything right. But the main thing to do is to contact a realtor. You cannot go wrong We will guide you wherever you need to go. We will let you know. We'll send you to the proper people, whether it's right now you want to buy, whether it's 6 months you want to buy, or whether it's 12 months that you want to buy. You will be put on a drip campaign, and therefore we'll contact you about once a month to see how things are going. Because sometimes when people say, "Oh, I'm not ready for another 6 months," sometimes they really buckle down and they might be ready within 3 months. So it really all depends. But please, whatever you do not go buy a house without a realtor. We will make sure, we will work hard for you. We have your best interest at heart. We will make sure we do everything we can. We are representing you, and we're going to go to bat for you. So that's how that goes. And also too, let me talk about something. Some lenders have and some builders, what they have is what they call a buy down. I really don't know all the details, but with a buy down, I do know that it's called the 2-1. Like, if the interest rate is 6%, when you get your loan, it could be 4% this year, 5% next year, and 6% the third year. But to get the specific details, just make sure you talk to your lender about that, because a lot of people are doing the 2-1 buy down. A lot of builders are offering money either towards your closing costs, and some people are even offering the money to the lenders are offering the money towards the buy down. So there are things out there, are programs out there to help you to get into a home, but you just got to make sure that everything else in order: your credit, your taxes, your income. You just got to make sure everything else is in order. And sellers too, on pre-owned homes, some of them are offering money towards closing costs, or maybe they take money and say, hey, they can use that towards the buy down. Some sellers are offering home warranty. Some sellers, like I said, are even paying some commission. So it really all depends on the situation that you're in. That's why it's never good to just go to a builder without a realtor, because we know what to look for. We know the questions to ask, because buyers will go in and then they'll sit down with the person, and then the person may not tell them all the incentives, what's going on, or even know the right questions. We are professionals, and we are trained to do our job, and we have been trained very well by our brokers. And a lot of things we learn on our own, a lot of things we learn by going to school, and most of all, we learn by networking with other realtors. We learn from other realtors, and we also learn by just doing our job. So just make sure whatever you do, you contact a real estate professional about buying a house. So let me go back and recap. When you first want to buy a house, you want to make sure the first thing you do is hire a real estate professional. That real estate professional will sit down, they'll do a buyer consultation with you. They'll send you to the lender, because we as real estate professional, we don't know if you're ready or not. All we're going to do is let you know what you need, and we're going to send you to the lender. But as a realtor myself, when I sit down and do my buyer's consultation, I talk to you all, whatever you want to live in. What is your time frame for buying? Are you in a lease? I may ask, do you have any money saved? But I don't want to know how much you guys save. I may ask, do you have any money saved? Do you have a thrift savings, or do you have a 401k? And if all those answers are yes, then I'll let you know. Even if they, are no, I still going to say, okay, well, how about I just send you to the lender? But before you go to the lender, you need to make sure you have your driver's license, social security card, 2 years of tax returns, your thrift savings, your 401k, your information for your HR. If somebody's going to give you a gift, you need to have a gift letter. And also too, I forgot to mention, there are a lot of down payment assistance programs out there. Please remember, on these down payment assistance program, just because your friend qualified for this one, that don't mean you are qualified for this one. Everybody credit is different, and everybody, like I said, situation is different. So there are different programs, and everybody won't qualify for the same one. But also remember, whatever the interest rate is on that down payment assistance program, that's going to be your interest rate. So just remember that. I have a question. Should the gift letter be notarized? No, the gift letter does not have to be notarized. What will happen on that gift letter? You have to have a gift letter, but if somebody's giving you money, that person has to show their bank statements. They just can't give you that money without showing where it came from. So every money, all monies have to be verified. Mattress money is not accepted. A lot of people have money under their mattress and they want to buy a house. Depending on the lender, the money needs to be seasoned for 90 days. Sometimes it depends on the lender. Again, like I said, it could be seasoned for 6 months. But no, gift letters do not have to be 9 days. Shoebox money, yeah, that's mattress money, honey. And still, there are a lot of people that have that. As a matter of fact, I'm working with a client now that I sent to the lender. He does have mattress money, and they told him what to do. So, and because people, I guess, are afraid to put money in the bank, but no, it does not have to be notarized. Again, that person that is providing the gift funds, they need to provide their bank statements with to give to the lender, because the lender just want to make sure that they did not go borrow that money, because sometimes that could count as a debt. I'm talk to your lender, but sometimes when somebody wants to give you money and they go borrow that money, that person has to say, hey, this is a gift letter. They don't have to pay it back, or otherwise the lender may or may count that as a debt towards you. Every lender has different guidelines. They have guidelines that they have to follow, but they have other guidelines that they add. So you have to be mindful of this lender may do this lender may do that, this lender may accept this, and this lender may accept that. So be mindful, follow the guidelines of the lender. Like I said, talk to your real estate professional, and you can't never, ever go wrong. That's what we are here for. We are here to guide you, to answer any questions that we have for you. When you ask us a question, we will make sure make phone calls. We will do what we need to do. And that's what I do. I go over and beyond for my clients. So if you're looking for a realtor and you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, just give me a call, Labrita Dews, at 817-975-9284. I myself is a retired military. So if you are a veteran and you're looking for a veteran agent or someone that knows the VA home buying process, I'm your girl. Just give me a call and I will guide you to it. I have lenders for you that can let you know what you need to do. And the same home buying process, even as a veteran. But there are just other things that the buyers have to do that the VA buyers just don't have to do. So again, if you are looking for a realtor, whether you want a new construction or a pre-owned, just give me a call. If you are viewing this and you're in another state, please find a real estate professional to help you and guide you. The home buying process with us at your side, we can make it really smooth for you. We'll make sure everything go good. Sometimes there are hiccups that are not caused by the buyer or the seller. There's just things that happen, and that's what we're there for, to try to smooth things out. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Next month, I'm going to still talk about the home buying process just in a little bit more in detail. And also, I'm going to try to have someone on here that can talk about, credit as well. But remember, you buying the home buying process, always look at your own credit first. You look at your credit and then you say, oh, Lord, I need to pay this off, pay this off, pay this off. Because sometimes you as a buyer, you know that you're not ready. And then sometimes you'll be like, well, let me see if I'm ready, especially if you see all these ads on TV. Oh, you can buy a house as low as credit score as low as 550. But remember, they still have to count your debt. When that credit score is 550, they still have to count everything. Not saying that you can't buy it at 550, but your interest rate may be higher because you are at a 550. So just remember to contact a real estate professional, and they will guide you in the way to be guided. You will never go wrong. You will never go wrong. Anybody have any questions for me? No more questions? Thank you all for tuning in. I will be back the fourth Monday of every month. If you would like to speak with me after the broadcast, you can inbox me or you can text me at 817-975-9284. I will get back with you as soon as I can, probably tomorrow. Or you can just email me, labrita.dues@gmail.com, or you can just go to my website, go to my Instagram and click on the link tree, and it'll have everything, all my social media. It'll have a spot in there for you to put your contact information. And I will get back. I get that notification immediately, and I will respond back. If you need a home buyer's guide, you kind of still on the fence, and you still want to just, you're ready but you're not ready, just contact me. Send me an email. Just contact me on my Instagram, and I have a buyer's guide for you. If you're looking to buy new construction, I have a new construction guide as well. I have a buyer's guide, a seller's guide, and a new construction guide. So if you are wanting any of those guides, just text me, and I will send you to the website, or just go to my Instagram page and you can click on the link tree, and there is a link to put your information in. And I will give you a call back, and I will let you know where to go to get the buyer's guide, or you just give me your information and I will send it to you. I thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you all. Everybody's out there buying a house. If you feel a little discouraged, do not. Just keep going, keep pushing. That right house will come along. The market is getting better. Yes, houses are going down. The interest rate is still a little steady. It's not back to where it was pre-COVID, but it is getting better. More lenders are offering more incentives. The builders are offering more incentives. So you kind of want to make sure that you try to get all the incentives that you can to help you to get into this house. And you can't do it by yourself. You've got to have one of us beside you, whether you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, just give me a call. I can help you. If you're in another state and you listen, just contact a real estate professional. Always interview multiple agents to make sure you're a good fit. That way you'll know. You won't know until you interview agents. That's what you should do. Interview multiple agents. But you contact me, you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. Again, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you all, and have a good night. It's the things I